So after a month of AFCON action, the tournament has come to an end, and this is the final AFCON 2021 video on my channel where I'll be picking my team of the tournament. Hello and welcome back. Today we're just going to be looking at my AFCON 2021 team of the tournament. So basically a quick overview is that I'll be picking a lineup of 11 players that I think is my team of the tournament, that I think has performed the best. And I know CAF will probably release their official team of the tournament, but this is going to be my team of the tournament. So I'm going to be using a 4-2-3-1 formation, and this is my team of the tournament. So in goal, we'll start off with the goalkeeper. Now Mendy obviously won goalkeeper of the tournament, but for me, I really had to put Gabaski in goal. I just think the story of how Gabaski came in for El Shenawi was the hero multiple times. I think overall in the AFCON, Gabaski saved a total of 7 or 8 penalties, including in shootouts, which is remarkable. You know, Gabaski's come in, he's hardly played for Egypt. He's been sitting in the shadows of what El Hadari and El Shenawi for years, and the way he's come in, and I know he liked to roll around wasting time with injuries and you know, pretending, but it's all part of the game. And goalkeeping wise, he made so many good saves. It was basically Egypt's defence that got them to the final really, and defensively they were so solid, and a lot of that was down to Gabaski. So for me, Gabaski has to be my goalkeeper, and even though he didn't really play in the group stage, I think Gabaski has to be my goalkeeper of the tournament. But you know, there were so many great goalkeeping stories. There was obviously the lad that played in goal for Comoros from left back, he could have gone in goal in this team. There were some really good goalkeeping performances. Even Kamara for Sierra Leone against Algeria, and in that group stage he saved a penalty from Ivory Coast as well. So there's been some brilliant goalkeeping performances. But remember, Mendy missed a couple of games as well for Senegal at the start. So for me, I'm going to put in Gabaski. I think Gabaski for me is the goalkeeper in my team. And then we've got my 4-man defence. So it's a bit of a I have to shift a few players in a few positions. So right back, I was looking at Collins Faye from Cameroon because he made a lot of assists in this tournament, but Achraf Hakimi carried Morocco at times. His free kick, the free kick against Gabon, bailed them out, and then the free kick against Malawi, right, bailed them out. So for me, Hakimi had a really good tournament, carried the team for Morocco, so I thought I'd put Hakimi in as the right back, and he's probably one of the best right backs in the world, definitely top 3 right backs. So for me, Hakimi is going to take that right back spot. And then 2 centre halves. Now again, I talked about Egypt's really good defence, and Hegazi was going to be in, but then he got injured, and then I was going to pin Abdel Monem. I mean, Abdel Monem had a great tournament, but then I think he gave away the penalty in the final to Senegal. So for me, and of course I already do have a few Egypt players in this team, so I'm going to have Koulibaly, captain of Senegal, absolute rock at the back. The performance from Koulibaly in the final, apart from the yellow card he got, which shouldn't have been a booking, but the performance of Koulibaly throughout this knockout stages has been absolutely incredible. Koulibaly, rock at the back, you know, attack wins games, defence wins trophies, and ultimately that's what Koulibaly provided for Senegal. So Koulibaly had to be one of the centre-backs. And then alongside him, my other centre-back is Tapsoba from Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso had a very good tournament, of course came 4th overall. And I think Tapsoba from Leverkusen had a really good AFCON. And I'd be surprised, I mean, Leverkusen's kind of a really good club already, but if another even bigger club didn't pick up Tapsoba in the summer, I'd be very surprised. So you look at my defensive line there, when you've got Tapsoba and Koulibaly at the back, that's, you know, that's solid. So for me, Koulibaly and Tapsoba in the back line. And then in terms of the left back, I couldn't really think who to put here. So I've ended up putting another right back at left back, just to fill in for this team, you know, like Cancelo does with Man City, but I think it's deserved. I've put in Issa Kabore, another Burkina Faso player. Now Kabore, I think it's actually Man City that actually do own Kabore, and he played as a right back in this tournament, and he played very well. He got a few assists, so I had to put him in the full back position. So for me, I've got half the defence from Burkina Faso. So my back 4 is Kabore, Tapsoba, Koulibaly and Hakimi, with Gabaski in goal. So that's my back line. So let's look at the defensive midfield positions. I've got two sort of defensive midfield players. I've got El Neni from Egypt. Mohamed El Neni, right? He plays way better with Egypt than he does with Arsenal. Usually they play better with the club than the country. But El Neni just loves playing for Egypt. He was unbelievable. He ran midfields at this tournament. He mopped up midfields. He was amazing. So for me, I have to have Mohamed El Neni in this midfield. And alongside him, I've got Hongla, who a player I was relatively unaware of before AFCON. And Cameroon sort of had this like, what, 3-5-2 system. And Hongla playing as one of the centre mids was very, very good. Another player that got quite a few assists. So for me, and of course, you know, Cameroon did come third. So it would make sense to have a Cameroon player in there. So I've got Hongla and El Neni as my two sit-in central midfielders, which leaves my attacking front four space to attack. So my front four, and the front four is probably the easiest like positions to pick. Maybe some players that could have got in, maybe Boufal could have got in. Maybe Mahango could have got in, maybe Marmoush. I really liked Marmoush at this tournament, but for me, you can't go wrong with this front four. So you got Toko Ekambi on the left, the second top scorer at AFCON. Scored 5 goals. Of course, ultimately, Abubakar was the one that beat him to the Golden Boot. On the right, Mo Salah. I think Egypt only scored 4 goals in the whole cup, and 3 of them were either scored or assisted by Salah. So like 75% of the goal threat for Egypt came from Salah. So Salah on the right, Toko Ekambi on the left, and then Mane in the sort of central attacking midfield role. I had to fit in Mane as well, ultimately scored the winning penalty for the tournament. And up front, it's your 8-goal Golden Boot man, Vincent Abubakar. So that is my team of the tournament. There's a few nations in there. I've tried to be fair. There's no way I'm sneaking an Algerian into this team. Absolutely not. So you've got Gabaski, Kabore, Tapsoba, Koulibaly, Hakimi, Hongla, El Neni, with Toko Ekambi, Mane, Salah and Abubakar up front. So that is my team of the tournament. Those are the 11 players I'd put together that I was impressed with the most. If you guys think I've missed anyone, you know, maybe a couple more Senegal players should have got in, but I didn't just want to pick like a whole Senegal team. I tried to be fair. So if you want, in the comments down below, I'd really be interested to see your teams of the tournament. But yes, that is really it for AFCON 2021. It's been an absolute blast, but of course I have to finish with a word on Algeria. The defending champions, no longer the reigning champions. Of course, Senegal have that title now. A really disappointing AFCON for Algeria, and I really hope we can bounce back in these World Cup qualifiers. So, in terms of Algeria's performance, I'll leave you with this. We did not forget, and we shall never forget, the blood and the jersey drenched in sweat, all the happiness you've brought to the nation. In the hard times, you were our only salvation. Might have lost a battle, but always win war. To keep that flag up high, you always swore. 40 million passionate fans stand by you. Devastated they may be, they'll never let go of you. So pick yourself up and dust yourself off. Remind everyone who are the continent's leaders. We do not go defeated, we learn lessons. Strength and pride, they were our weapons. No matter how hard they bend us, we don't break. We stand back from a fall, no matter what it will take. Remember those that criticised, celebrated our setback? This is the time, as we're going to bounce back. Keep your heads up, and remember who you are. A team with spirit of a million martyrs in memoir. Bring us back to the days of acclamation and glory, and let history again write gold in our story.